Much better. In this video, I'll be taking a look at 4 more arenas on DevOps Arcade 2. Docks, Donut, Metro, and High-Rise Apartments. Timestamps will be in the description for each arena, and also accurate English closed captions are available for the hard of hearing. Similar to part 1 of this series, which will be in the description as well, I'll be examining the differences between DOA 2 arenas and their campaign and multiplayer counterparts in Black Ops 3, while also sharing anecdotes related to the arenas, level design, and other stuff as well. So first up we have the Docks arena, which is pretty straightforward. They really only come out of 3 different areas. From this point of view, they spawn from the left docks and water, the top door, and the top right area. This arena has a unique design insofar as you have a large wall you could back up into and camp by without worrying about zombies spawning by you. There was an update released on May 5th, 2016 which reworked the placement of electric poles on many of the maps. I think it was supposed to primarily address Chinatown and other arenas like Shadow Boogie where poles would constantly spawn up against walls. And on this arena there would often be an electric pole blocking the wall you camp by, which was pretty annoying. So that doesn't happen quite as often anymore, but the update also changed the layout of poles on the middle of the map. So basically poles spawn in areas that they wouldn't back in the day, and this is a concept that I'll bring up a bit later as well with one of the other arenas. A lot of debris and other stuff is obviously cleared for the DOA map, and there's some pretty stuff in the sky which is carried over. Sometimes on DOA 2 arenas it's difficult to tell where the boundaries of the map are and what is sort of a barrier and what's not. For instance, in campaign you could tuck yourself into this corner, but on DOA 2 you can't, even though it may seem that you can. So there's a lot of stuff like this on this arena and others on this game. I remember when DOA 2 gameplay was leaked about a week before the game was officially released. I saw this one guy's island gameplay on Twitter, and I was concerned that maybe the game was just a remaster of DOA 1. Then a couple days later, Docks was also leaked. I guess someone finally beat round 4. And I was like, holy jumping guacamole, this is quite a different and interesting arena. Anyways, in the later playthroughs of this arena, zombies die while climbing up the docks, making this easy arena only easier. I guess zombies aren't the only ones getting stuck in the docks. Also the 54 Immortals skull logo from campaign, not to be confused with the Army of the 12 Monkeys, which is not to be confused with Legite, is added to the actual docks. And the yellow player is a character model from the 54 Immortals as well. About a week ago I was playing a little public match, and look what happened here. Next up is what people call the Donut Arena. I always thought that dynamic map elements would be cool on DOA, like if this middle hole on the map would close randomly. It could be a situation where you could utilize the middle platform to avoid ground spawners and bad visibility, but by doing so, you risk the platform opening up while you're standing over it, and then falling to your doom. In the campaign you could actually go down this hole, and there's some areas down there that would make for interesting arenas or even bonus room areas. This is the second circular map on this game, and the first one, Dirt Nap, incidentally also features ground spawners during the challenge round. I was astounded that DOA 2 had 16 arenas when it came out, but in retrospect some of the arenas seem slightly repetitive and maybe could have been cut. But at the same time, having 16 arenas makes getting into the later rounds quicker. For instance, round 121 on DOA 1 would be the 4th playthrough of an arena, whereas round 121 on DOA 2 is only the 2nd playthrough. And with every playthrough, of course, the rounds get longer. Being able to get further faster has always been a good thing, I suppose, but at the same time it also makes it easier to get a big number next to your name. Beating 120 on DOA 1 was usually a mark of a good player, but that benchmark would probably have to be set higher for DOA 2 perhaps. I like the fact that Chinatown and this arena go back to back. Reminds me a bit of Downpour and Fish in a Barrel being back to back difficult arenas on DOA 1. And I'll return to this point a bit later where the opposite occurs. As alluded to before, this arena has pretty bad visibility, as the zombies spawn from the ground and often blend in with the terrain. A lot of players opt to use the second zoom on this map, but personally I like to see as much as possible, so I typically play all the way zoomed out. Also, zombies seem to get stuck in door spawns quite a bit on this arena, and myself and other players have also gotten stuck inside of doorways during games. I think it's safe to say that some weird stuff happens on this arena. One time, right, I was playing a 4-player match and my pal Derek was catching up to me in score. Naturally, I couldn't let this happen since he was running friendship while I was on the death machine. So I did what anybody else would do. I contacted the Cyber Silverback and hired one of his minions to go undercover as a teammate and take him out. He didn't know what hit him. Next up we got Metro. On the Silverback Trail, it's the only arena that has its name on it, which is kinda weird. And as I was looking at this image, something dawned on me. Embarrassingly enough, I've been misinterpreting this arena's illustration for almost 3 years now. I've always thought that this was a race car on this arena. I mentioned it to other players back in the day, like, look at this cool car, I wonder if we'll be driving it on that arena. And nobody ever corrected me. Well, speaking of making embarrassing mistakes, there's yet another error I made related to a car in this arena. Let's roll the footage. Let me investigate this car over here. Okay, so it does say police.
But like when you look at the front of the car, like the letters are all messed up.
Not only did I poke fun at this on livestream, I also included it at the end of one of my older videos, and then one of my friends messaged me and said I was horribly mistaken. Well, at least somebody corrected me. In any case, in the DOA 2 map, a catwalk area is added, which is reminiscent of Prison Break in that you can enter it from 2 different pathways. And there's even a drop-down area. Unlike Prison Break, however, the zombies frequently jump up and down it as well. A lot of junk on the map got cleared off for DOA as well, per usual, which leaves a lot of open space to run around. I think this arena could have benefited from leaving this little obstacle here so that the area is a little less roomy. You could even go deep into this area under the catwalk, allowing for exquisite double backs. Some of the terrain on the map is also a bit uneven, which could hinder you at times when traveling in a certain direction, costing you a life or some equipment in the later rounds. There's some text on the map that got replaced by the word Silverback. Who installs this lettering anyways? Is the Silverback so egotistical that he has his minions put up his name in random areas, marking his territory or something? Not that a DOA 3 would have to adhere to the timeline of multiplayer, but Black Ops 4 will take place between Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3, so the Cyber Silverback is technically not dead in BO4's timeline. Then again, he attended the funeral of the Cosmic Silverback like 100 years after he died, unless we're supposed to believe that he had these advanced cybernetics and Fitbits in the Vietnam War. Unless there's time traveling going on and teleporters and alternate dimensions and looping of time, I don't know. Maybe the story just doesn't take itself too seriously. That's a slight possibility. There are also some ads on the map that are removed or changed a bit. I'll bring this up again here soon, but anyways, on the Metro multiplayer map, there's a location I found that I think would make a cool, more traditional DOA map. Sort of like the courtyard arena from DOA 1, except there's an obstacle up here that changes strategy a bit, I imagine, along with spawns from the water. You could even grab a DOA cappuccino as well. Speculating on Black Ops 4 for a moment, I wonder if the Blackout Battle Royale mode will have anything DOA related in it. Personally, one thing I would really like to see in the Blackout mode is something sort of like the Red Zone in PUBG. But instead of mortars, rockets, and bombs raining down on you, there should be spicy meatballs dropping in from the sky. But here's the catch. The meatballs will kill you before they even finish landing on the map. And silly me thought this was fixed 2.5 years ago. Finally, we have the high-rise apartments, also known as snowy rooftops. This arena is one of the easiest in DOA, however, there's something about it that makes it one of my favorites. It's sort of poorly conceived from a solo perspective, because you're usually missing out on item spawns somewhere on the map, but I just love the layout for some reason. Maybe because it's a big map with stairs and a large drop-off area the zombies could climb up and down from, and that's juxtaposed by the fact that there's only 4 spawning locations, contrary to many other DOA 2 maps which are smaller and have more spawning locations. So there's some level design changes made. Instead of stairs, there's a ladder. You get to the top and there's some obstacles that were removed for DOA. And also the door up there that they spawn from is kind of changed as they come from the front rather than the side door. Also the May 5th, 2016 update that I mentioned earlier also had an impact on this arena with the electric poles. There were never any poles up here on this top area, but the update added poles which sort of made it slightly more difficult for all host players to run up here in co-op. Like other DOA 2 arenas, there's a digital billboard with an advertisement, and sometimes these billboards are removed or changed, but in this case, there's something related to the campaign. It's not a huge deal, but I think stuff like this could have been changed to something DOA related to sort of make it feel more like a unique experience rather than you just playing a campaign level. Like, how about a picture of some Silverback propaganda or something? Also, if you look out into the distance, there's some pretty scenery with a lot of high-rise apartments. I imagine a lot of this is removed for the sake of not having DOA take up too much space on their hard drive or something. I don't know, I imagine that's the reason. So an issue that I've always had with this arena and the following arena are that they are 2 of the easiest arenas in the game, back to back, right before the boss round. Jungle on DOA 1 was sort of a medium difficulty map, whereas on this game the jungle is wide open and it's very easy to have everyone maxed out. Also, I think the final arena out of 16 arenas should have some sort of epic layout to it. That's what the Silverback Trail suggests to me at least. But you get there and it's sort of bland. No rocket in the middle hindering your movement, no waterfall eliciting an epic feel, nothing really exciting going on except tall grass in first person mode. I guess the Silverback's minions forgot to mow the lawn or something. Anyways, that about wraps up the video. I don't think I'll be doing another video on these arenas, sort of because I'm running out of arenas to talk about. If someone knows where the Dirt Nap, Shadow Boogie, and Margaret arenas originate from, let me know, because I have no intention of looking through the campaign anymore. Anyways, if you missed part 1 of this short-lived series, it should be on your screen right now. What's going on? Where am I? If this is what death is like, I don't think much of it.